You're about to uncover the real reason why most people fade away after 75, and the few shocking yet simple truths that help others live past 100 without relying on genetics or luck. If you ever wondered why some seem to fall apart while others remain sharp, active, and thriving into their centenarian years, you're going to want to hear every word. When we think of aging, most people visualize frailty, loss of memory, and the inability to enjoy life. But what if I told you that decline after 75 is not natural, not inevitable, and certainly not something we have to accept? The truth is, most of what we accept as aging is actually decay accelerated by habits, beliefs, and invisible forces we rarely question. To understand this fully, we have to take a look into the real story of human longevity. Take the case of Yuki-san, a 103-year-old woman in Okinawa, Japan. Every morning she wakes at sunrise, tends to her garden, sings a local folk tune, and meets her friends for tea. She moves effortlessly without a cane. Her mind is clear and alert. She laughs often. Her life is not a mystery. It is a mirror into the lifestyle that leads to thriving health beyond 100. And yet in other parts of the world, someone at 75 is considered lucky if they're not on 3 medications or walking with a frame. What changed? First, we have to understand that what happens after 75 is often not the fault of our bodies, but the accumulation of years of micro-decisions. It's not about aging, it's about exposure. Exposure to stress, sedentary behavior, processed food, emotional disconnection, isolation, poor sleep, and loss of purpose. And all of these begin affecting us not at 75, but often in our 30s and 40s. For example, modern life has engineered movement out of our day. We sit to work, we sit to eat, we sit to relax. And our ancestors, they squatted, they climbed, they walked. Movement wasn't optional, it was life. And movement is not about exercise, it's about mobility. Longevity expert Dr. Peter Attia calls this the centenarian Olympics. The idea that what you do in your 40s, 50s, and 60s determines whether you can get off the floor without help in your 90s. The body loses what it doesn't use, and modern life uses less and less. Then there's the food. Nutrient density has plummeted. We've traded whole, fibrous, seasonal, and fermented foods for synthetic, hyperpalatable, calorie-dense, yet nutrient-empty meals. In blue zones, those rare parts of the world where people routinely live past 100, meals are often simple but powerful. Lentils, sweet potatoes, herbs, vegetables, whole grains. Meat is a rarity, sugar even rarer. The key, not restriction, but ritual. Eating is mindful, slow, often in community. No one's snacking at midnight in front of a screen. And then there's connection. Isolation has become epidemic. We are more connected digitally than ever. Yet loneliness has doubled in recent decades. Why does this matter for longevity? Because chronic loneliness increases the risk of death as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. In contrast, people who live the longest are often deeply embedded in their community, their families, and their purpose. Purpose matters. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai, your reason to wake up in the morning. Studies have shown people with a strong sense of purpose are far less likely to suffer from chronic illness or die prematurely. And let's not forget about stress. Chronic stress accelerates biological aging. It shortens telomeres, the protective ends of your chromosomes. When telomeres shorten, cells age faster. And what causes chronic stress? Often not the stressor, but our reaction to it. Practices like meditation, breath work, and regular exposure to nature have been shown to buffer this biological wear and tear. Then there's sleep, the foundation of all restoration. People who routinely get less than 6 hours of quality sleep per night have significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even cancer. Yet in our productivity-obsessed culture, sleep is still seen as optional. It is not. It's the time when your brain detoxifies, when your body repairs, when your immune system resets. So why do most older adults decline rapidly after 75? Because by the time they reach that age, the compounding effects of decades of poor sleep, chronic stress, processed food, sedentary behavior, and disconnection have taken their toll. The tragedy is not that they aged. The tragedy is that they were never taught how to age well. But the beauty of all this is, it's never too late. Take the story of Charlie, a retired electrician from Minnesota, who at 79 decided he didn't want to be another statistic. He began walking 3 miles a day. He started strength training with cans of soup. He cut sugar. He meditated. He began gardening. By 82, he was off his meds. At 85, he was hiking local trails. At 90, he was volunteering at schools, mentoring teens. When asked his secret, he said, "I just stopped believing it was too late." That's the mindset shift. Longevity is not luck. It's a daily decision. It's the result of aligning our lives with the rhythms and principles that our biology evolved with. It's not about anti-aging creams or biohacking gadgets. It's about remembering how to be human. Eat real food, move often, sleep deeply, love well, stay curious. Most centenarians aren't marathon runners or kale juice drinkers. They're people who live in alignment. They rise and sleep with the sun. They move because life requires it. They eat what the earth gives them. They stay close to those they love. They don't retire from life. They stay engaged. They feel needed. They have rituals. They have story. So how do you live past 100? You start now, not with radical change, but with tiny shifts. Stand more. Breathe slower. Eat colorful, fibrous food. Sleep with intention. Call a friend. Laugh. Find your reason to wake up tomorrow. Do it again the next day. Because every small step is a vote for your future self. And remember this, genetics loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. You are not a prisoner of your DNA. You are the architect of your health span. Yuki, Charlie, and millions of others show us the path. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just need to roll it forward with more awareness, more heart, more connection. So if you've made it this far, here's what I want you to take with you. 75 is not an end. It's an inflection point. You can decide today whether your later years will be a time of decline or a second spring. The secret to living past 100 is not in a pill or a lab or a hospital. It's in the way you live each ordinary day. Make it extraordinary. Because those who live the longest and live well aren't the ones who fight aging. They're the ones who dance with it. Thank you for staying till the end. If this opened your eyes, imagine what your next decade could look like. It's not too late to rewrite your story, not with fear, but with joy, with action, with love. Let's live like it matters, because it does. And so do you.